For those of you students that are working with the AutoCAD web app, there was been a question on the dimension styles. And as far as I know, there really is no way to create a dimension style from scratch in the AutoCAD web app. So in finding a solution, I'm creating this video for you because there is a workaround, and it does have to incorporate some of the software, meaning if you have the software, within the software, you can go and create the style on the software and then export it as a block. And then we're going to insert it here as a block with that style already. So I did that for you. On the Google Drive, I went ahead and placed a drawing that we're going to use as a block to insert. Now remember, on the Google Drive, we're going to go over to Share Drives, Class Share. So this is the Google Drive I'm sharing with you, which has all the title blocks and the architectural names and scale factors, so on and so forth. And just like how we did the title block, the way you insert it to the web app, it's the same thing, except that in this case, I created a file for you with those styles created already. So because of that, then you'll be able to use those styles in the AutoCAD web app, because what's happening is when you go to model space, which is where you're supposed to put your styles, your dimensions, and you go to annotate, there is no way to change that specifically, and it's very critical, more so even on the web app, because the text is too small. This is where your scale factors are really, really critical, because you can't even see the text. It's too small. Because it's 1/8 of an inch on a big house design, it's just going to be too small. You can't even read it, and you can't even see the arrowheads or nothing until you zoom in. So it's really the same issue that you have with the AutoCAD with the regular software, except that here you really can't create your style. It's not available. So then what happens is that you're going to have to insert a block, really a drawing, that has the styles created for you already, and I created them for you. So then once you insert them, you just essentially use those styles. So on the class share, and these are the ones, and I even made one for the mechanical drafting, specifically on fractions, for you to use, because I think most of our drawings in the 1309 are pretty much fractional. So that's the one you're going to be using. So I'm demonstrating this one. It's really going to be the same process for your mechanical 1309, but this is the architectural styles that I'm going to use. Now, when you're on the Google Drive, it's really best to select this and don't double click. You guys love to double click and you get to this window, which is not a good thing, because sometimes when you download from here, it does some weird things. So that's really isn't the best solution. So the best way to use this to download items. All right, it's not going back. Let me close this guy. Okay. The best way to use this is to not double click on the drawing that you want to download. You're going to right click, hover over it, right click on it, and you're going to download that file. That's the better thing to do, because when you double click and download, then you get some weird things. So it's best to right click and specifically download. And you kind of get into the habit of doing that. Because that way, when you go to your downloads folder, you'll see it there as far as an actual drawing file. If you see something different here, I think we've had some issues that say some students that have PNG files, it's not going to work. It's just wrong. Okay, so make sure that it is downloaded and you're going to be using the DWG file, because on the web app, what we're going to do is we're going to insert that as a block. So we're going to go to blocks on the web app. I already have my title block that I inserted earlier on the paper space. We're going to go browse for blocks. If you haven't inserted anything yet, you should still have the option to browse for blocks. You're going to go browse for blocks, and then you're going to upload. Now, I downloaded it already, so you'll have to just go to your downloads folder to find the dimension styles. Now, for those of you that had connected to the file stream, don't forget that you can go over to the G drive, share drives, class share, and then insert it from there. That's for those of you that have connected to the file stream, which I highly, highly recommend. If not, don't forget that you will have to go through the process of downloading from here. Once it downloads to your downloads folder, and then the kind of roundabout way would be then to upload. Once you go to browse for blocks, you'll have to then upload, and then upload that file that you downloaded and hit open. You can kind of see how it's just harder if you're not connected to the file stream. And there it is. Select and insert. So it's going to bring in the dimension style that I created for you, really in our demonstration yesterday. It's been set already with the right height, the right everything, and if I'm not mistaken, I think even the right layer. Of course, this is a block right now, so I need to explode it first using the explode command. And then you can see individually the dimensions. And those dimensions are already there. And like I said, because of the fact that it brought in the dimension block with the dimension style and the text style, and whatever layer, it brought in that layer also. So there you go. So there's your layer created for you all in one step. So then once you have that, then you can just directly go and start annotating. And let's see. This is a little bit different than the way I did it. I'm just kind of curious what's going to happen. You can go and annotate and pick a point here and pick a point here. And I think it's still going to put it on the wrong style. And you're going to get something small. So you can do one of two things. You can select it, go to properties, and then you'll have to change the dimension style. Now you'll have that architectural style I created for you. There it is. And everything should work better from there. Now, another thing we can do is that since we have the dimension created already and it's already on the right layer, we can take these and copy them. Okay. I think we're better do that. Let me just undo. I think you can match properties. You better just match properties and match this over to the dimension I just put in. There we go. Okay. I don't know if there's a way to, when you annotate, if you can go and annotate directly under that style. We go to properties, dimension style, arch. And I go to my layers and make that one my dimension, my current layer. So that way when I'm placing my dimensions, yeah, there we go. Oops, I picked it. Just be careful. But nonetheless, I think the rest of it you can figure it out on your own. So it's really just inserting the title block. For the text, for the living room labels and door labels, you can just copy this to its place. It's already been set at the right size. And then you can just double click and edit the text and change it to dining room, bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bathroom. Door sizes 30606 solid core. And you can even use the multi-leader. The multi-leader is there for you already also. You can just copy that one into place and place it where it needs to go. And goes over here at that wall. And I haven't done this before, but I'm thinking you should be able to edit that text. Yep, there it is. That's a little weird. 6-inch wall. That was an interesting warning. I'm not sure what that was, but it worked. So hopefully this will help you out. And it will be the same process for the mechanical parts. If you label it already, that's fine. I think you should be able to insert the mechanical dimensions and then be able to match properties. This should help you out for those of you on the web app.